Yes, students, welcome to our physics class now. So now we are going to derive the formula for heat, that is heat energy. That may be a loss of heat energy or gain of heat energy. So we are going to derive the formula for heat in this physics class. You know, you know that heat is a form of energy flowing from higher temperature to lower temperature, and the CCS unit of heat is calorie, and SI unit of heat is joule. So heat is a form of energy flowing from higher temperature to lower temperature. So units for measuring heat energy, we use calories and joules. So 1 calorie is equals to 4.2 joules. And for measuring large amount of heat energy, we have units like kilocalories. 1 kilocalorie is equals to 1000 calories, which is equal to 4200 joules. So now how can we find numerically the loss of heat energy or gain of heat energy by a body? So loss of heat energy from a body or gain of heat energy by a body, how can we calculate? So for this one we need a formula. So that formula we are going to derive. So derivation of formula for heat energy. So and here also we want to know one thing, temperature. So you know temperature is nothing but degree of hotness or degree of coldness of a body is called temperature. So temperature in CCS system has a unit degree Celsius in CCS system, and in SI system Kelvins. So the change in temperature is denoted by delta T, which is nothing but difference between higher temperature and lower temperature. So delta T is the change in temperature, which is equal to higher temperature minus lower temperature. Students, so now how can we derive the formula for heat energy? So derivation of formula for heat. So for example, we are taking two vessels A and B. Suppose this consists of 100 grams of water. So this consists of 1000 grams of water. Now initially its initial temperature is room temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Now initially its temperature is 27 degrees Celsius room temperature. It is a vessel B. So vessel A is filled with 100 grams of water, vessel B is filled with 1000 grams of water. Now both waters are present at the same initial temperature. Now we began heating both vessels with the same heating devices, producing same flame, producing same amount of heat energy. Now, so before heating, we want to raise its temperature 87 degrees Celsius. We want to raise its temperature 87 degrees Celsius. That is its final temperature. It is a final temperature. Now change in temperature for this one is 87 minus 27, 60 degrees Celsius. Here also change in temperature delta T is 87 minus 27, that is 60 degrees Celsius. So we want to raise the temperature in 100 grams of water, that is 60 degrees Celsius. We want to raise the temperature in 1000 grams, that is 60 degrees. We want to bring this temperature from 27 to 87, from 27 to 87. but here A has only 100 grams of water, B has 1000 grams of water. So masses are different, so their initial temperature are equal, and we want to raise their temperature up to same level. It is 87, it is 87. Now we began heating. We began heating with the same heating devices producing same flame. Now we can notice that, so in the vessel A, this temperature will be reached faster. This water reaches this temperature slower. It means that, so its temperature from 27 to 87 will be reached faster. Its temperature from 27 to 87 will be reached slower. It means that it requires a less amount of heat energy to raise its temperature to 87 degrees Celsius. It requires more amount of heat energy to raise its temperature from 27 to 87. So the reason for this one is its mass is lower, its mass is higher for the same change in temperature. So when the mass of a substance is lower, heat required for it to rise its temperature is smaller. For a mass of substance, for higher mass of substance, heat required to rise its temperature is higher. So the mass of a substance increases, heat absorption also increases. Mass decreases, heat absorption also decreases for a constant change in temperature. So from this we can write one point in the derivation of formula for heat, that is for a same change in temperature, that is delta T remains constant. Mass of the substance for a same change in temperature, amount of heat Q observed is directly proportional to mass of the substance M. So this means that change in temperature remains constant. So mass of the substance increases, so heat absorbed by it also increases. Mass of the substance decreases, heat absorbed by it also decreases. That is why, so in the previous activity, so for 100 grams rises its temperature faster because it requires only little amount of heat energy. In the case of 1000 grams of water, it takes some more time to rise its temperature. So because its mass is higher, so it absorbs more heat energy. So this implies Q directly proportional to M, because directly proportional, M increases, Q also increases, M decreases, Q also decreases for the constant change in temperature. Now, so what is the relation between amount of heat and change in temperature, students? So for this one, again we are taking two vessels A and B, but in this case both are filled with the same mass of water. Suppose 1 kg water and 1 kg water, that is 1000 grams of water, 1000 grams of water. So initially it is at 27 degrees Celsius, it is also at 27 degrees Celsius. Now we want to raise its temperature, that is 47 degrees Celsius, that is T2, and this is T1. We want to raise this one 97 degrees Celsius, T2 and T1. So now change in temperature here, students, 47 minus 27, that is 20 degrees Celsius. Here change in temperature to be raised is 97 minus 27, that is 70 degrees Celsius. So we want to rise here temperature 20 degrees Celsius, we want to rise here temperature 70 degrees Celsius. Now we began both at a time by same heating devices. So in the vessel A, we want to raise temperature is from 27 to 47. In the vessel B, we want to raise the temperature from 27 to 97 degrees Celsius. So the higher change in temperature is 70, lower change in temperature is 20. Now both vessels began for both vessels we began heating. So on heating we can notice that the required temperature in this vessel A will be reached faster and it will be reached slower, because the target temperature is lower, target temperature is higher. That is, change in temperature is higher, change in temperature is lower. So when the change in temperature is higher, it requires more amount of heat energy. When the change in temperature is lower, it requires less amount of heat energy for the same mass of substance. So when delta T is higher, heat absorbed is higher. When delta T is lower, heat absorbed is lower. That is why here also the relation between Q and delta T is directly proportional for same mass of the substance. Second point, for the same mass of substance, amount of heat absorbed is directly proportional to the change in temperature. So this implies Q directly proportional to delta T. So when delta T is higher, Q will be higher. When delta T is lower, Q will be lower. This is equation number 2, students. So from equation 1 and 2, what we can write is, so in the equation 1 Q, in the equation 2 also Q is there, proportionality symbol. So these two are common. So from equation 1 and 2, what we can write is Q directly proportional to M into delta T. And eliminate a proportionality symbol and we are writing a constant with equal sign, Sm delta T, or Q is equals to Ms delta T, where S is a proportionality constant, where S is a proportionality constant called specific heat. So this is the formula for heat energy, that is loss of heat energy from the body or gain of heat energy by the body. So for the same change in temperature, here temperature is a constant, the change in temperature constant, here mass of the substance constant. So for the same change in temperature, mass increases, heat required also increases. Mass decreases, heat required also decreases for rising same change in temperature. So for the same mass of the substances, amount of heat absorbed increases with increase of change in temperature, decreases with a decrease of change in temperature. That is, amount of heat absorbed is also directly proportional to the change in temperature. So Q directly proportional to T. So by combining these two, we can write Q directly proportional to M into delta T. Eliminating a proportionality symbol, we can write Q is equals to Sm delta T. So that is with the equal sign, S is written in the place of this proportionality symbol, which is called specific heat. So finally, for the loss of heat energy or gain of heat energy, we have a formula Q is equals to Ms delta T, where Q is a loss of heat energy or gain of heat energy, M is a mass of the substance, S is a specific heat, and delta T is the change in temperature, which is given as higher temperature minus lower temperature. So that's all the student.